From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin here with meteorologist Kyle Mounts. And Kyle, it has been a very windy day, and you can see it right here from this video from Eagle Creek today. Will things start calming down as we head into the night?
Yeah, Nicole, and they already have started to calm down here a little bit, but you had to hold on tight if you headed outdoors earlier today. Look at some of these peak wind gusts. Indianapolis, 66 miles per hour earlier today, 64 mile per hour gust in Muncie, and many other locations with gusts exceeding 50 miles per hour. At this point, though, those gusts are starting to drop off a little bit. We still have a 43 mile per hour gust this hour, though, in Indianapolis, but you can see most other areas 30 miles per hour or less. That should continue to be the trend here as we go through the next several hours, about 30 to 35 mile per hour gust for us. Then as we get toward the morning drive tomorrow, wind shouldn't be too much of a factor for you as those gusts really start dropping off here as we get to about 7 a.m. We've had the clouds around the area. Temperatures right now in the 40s. Those clouds going to continue to erode away to the north here, giving us mostly clear skies. But through 10 o'clock, temperatures will hold in the lower 40s. We'll talk about a cold night and another breezy day coming our way in a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Now to our continuing coverage of the coronavirus and its impact on Indiana. The State Department of Health reports 6,844 new cases. 22 more Hoosiers have died with COVID-19, bringing the total number of deaths to 4,660. Since March, more than 251,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. More than 3.5 million tests have been administered in Indiana. This reminder, a new executive order takes effect today, limiting crowd sizes for all social events. Governor Holcomb announced last week he was reinstating the restrictions after several weeks of sharp increases in COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths. The new steps will limit crowd sizes in those counties at the higher risk levels of coronavirus spread and would cover 87 of the state's 92 counties. The restrictions include limiting gatherings to up to 20 people in the highest risk red counties and 50 people in the next riskiest orange counties. The new order will also limit capacity at K-12 sports and extracurricular events. Tonight, businesses in Marion County are preparing for new restrictions to go into effect tomorrow. The owner of Moonshot Games on Mass Ave says he must reduce capacity down to 25%. A big part of the downtown location is event space. Jason Manship says they have worked hard to install plexiglass shields, reduce event sizes, and recently sales have been going up. But now his staff is stressed out learning about these new restrictions. His main concern is the mental health aspect because he says people rely on Moonshot Games as a gathering place.
We believe that, we want to see our business survive, and we want to see people that support us and that play the games that we work hard to foster. We get told all the time, this is the only place I go, right? This is the only place I get out to go because, COVID's locking us down, and we need an escape, and we feel strongly that we are that for a lot of people. But this is what it is, and at the end of the day, I don't blame anyone else. I think it's just a matter of doing our small part to help make everyone better.
Manship hopes people will support local businesses like his on Black Friday this year and for the holiday season. He says with the new restrictions, they plan to shift their focus once again to retail, and they are planning a big blowout deal for Black Friday. Here's a snapshot of some of the changes that will take effect in Marion County beginning Monday. Bars and entertainment venues will be capped at 25% indoor capacity, restaurants at 50%, large gatherings will be capped at 25% capacity, and religious events at 75%. Gyms and fitness studios will be capped at 25% capacity. We have the full list of restrictions right now at WRTV.com. Schools are also adjusting to the rising number of COVID-19 cases. Districts in Marion County have to return to 100% virtual learning by the end of the month. Here's a quick rundown of when the districts will begin. It starts as soon as tomorrow for students in Wayne Township. Washington Township students will be back home Tuesday, while kindergarten through 6th grade students at Beech Grove will go virtual on Wednesday. Beech Grove Junior High and high school students had already moved to virtual learning because of COVID cases at the school. Several districts will begin November 23rd. That includes IPS. Meanwhile, Perry Township and Speedway are waiting until the deadline, November 30th. We have a complete list of all schools that are going virtual in the coronavirus section of WRTV.com. Butler University will host fans at 25% capacity for its upcoming basketball games this season at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Face coverings, temperature checks, and using specific entrances and exits will be required. No season tickets will be offered for the 2020-2021 season, and tickets will be available in blocks of 2 to 4 games each. Tickets will be available to those who were season ticket holders last year or have already made a deposit for the season. Butler is scheduled to start its season on November 25th against Western Michigan. This past week, more than half of the country reported a record number of hospitalizations due to COVID-19. President Trump says a vaccine could be available by April, but his administration is not coordinating with President-elect Joe Biden and his transition team. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert with the details.
Cases of COVID-19 are on the rise in almost every state. According to the COVID Tracking Project, 163,000 cases diagnosed in the past 24 hours, 1,321 new deaths, and more than 69,000 Americans currently hospitalized. The healthcare system feeling the strain.
We're trying to find staff. We're trying to get people from other units to help us out. Many days you just get in your car and cry.
Washington's Governor Jay Inslee announcing new restrictions to help slow the spread of the coronavirus.
Indoor social gatherings with people from outside your home are prohibited. Outdoor gatherings are limited to no more than 5 people. Restaurants and bars are closed for indoor service.
The city of Amarillo, Texas, ordering mobile morgues.
There are more patients than there are beds in the hospital. We've even expanded the morgue capacity at the hospitals with a mobile trailer and requested a second trailer while we wait for a portable morgue unit. This is real.
On Friday, President Trump predicting Pfizer will soon receive emergency use authorization for its vaccine and says it could be available to the general population by April. But the Trump administration is not working with President-elect Biden's transition team. Dr. Anthony Fauci telling CNN this could be a problem.
It's almost like passing a baton in a race. You don't want to stop and then give it to somebody. You want to just essentially keep going. And that's what transition is. So it certainly would make things more smoothly if we could do that.
President Trump's hand-picked vaccine czar Moncef Slaoui telling the Financial Times, "I hope nothing interferes with Operation Warp Speed. It is a matter of life and death for thousands of people," calling on the White House to allow his team to make contact with Joe Biden. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington, D.C.
Andrew, thank you. A Westfield veteran wants to make sure other veterans and public safety personnel have help during times of need. Scott Willis is the vice president of the Westfield City Council. He's currently working to make sure those who sacrifice so much won't have to worry if they are deployed for service or hurt on the job. So he brought a proposal to the council called the Hometown Hero Proposal based on his own experience.
I got deployed in August of 2005, got back in April of 2006, so it was a difficult time with snow, and you can imagine having 2 babies at home. One was 3 months old when I left, and you have to get out and try to clear a driveway so you can leave the house. It's a challenge, it really is.
Willis says at the time the load fell on his wife. The proposal would help those in his shoes by making sure lawns are kept up while they are hurt or away and driveways are shoveled during the winter. Coming up tonight at 11 o'clock, we'll tell you how the proposal would work if it's passed. The Bartholomew County Sheriff's Department is mourning the loss of a K-9 officer killed while chasing a domestic battery suspect. K-9 Diesel was chasing the suspect after a brief pursuit near County Road 600 South and 650 West. Diesel pursued the man into the woods near Interstate 65. Diesel was later found along the side of the interstate. The sheriff's office is still investigating to determine how K-9 Diesel was killed. They are asking anyone who was traveling on I-65 near the 62-mile marker around 4 p.m. on Saturday afternoon to give them a call. People on social media are reacting to what they see as a sign of something good coming to a former Marsh location. The sign on the window at the former Marsh store on Kentucky Avenue indicates there are plans to bring a Charlie Brown's restaurant to the building there. Charlie Brown's currently has a popular restaurant in Speedway. At least one fan posted she's happy to see a local business expanding. We are working to get more information on this story, and we will keep you updated. His presence still looms large in the Democratic Party, and it will likely get another boost with a highly anticipated book release this week. But what's on Barack Obama's mind right now? He tells all to Oprah, and we have the highlights next. Kyle.
And those temperatures started falling with the gusty winds today. We've got another shot of some cool air coming in from the northern plains. I'll let you know if there's another warm up in that 7-day planning forecast. You're watching WRTV News at 6.
Former President Barack Obama is set to release his new memoir this week. He talked with Oprah about it in a revealing conversation about some pivotal moments in the White House. More now from ABC's Janae Norman.
The former president sitting down with the media mogul, Obama and Oprah. No topic off limits.
Well, time and again, you question in A Promised Land your own vanity and ego.
By the time I entered into the Oval Office, what interested me was what could I get done? And I think that to actually imagine yourself running for president requires a certain element of megalomania and insanity.
Yeah. The candid conversation highlighting former President Barack Obama's upcoming memoir, A Promised Land.
I was still trying to prove myself worthy to a father who had abandoned me. Live up to my mother's starry-eyed expectations for her only son.
As he opens up about the difficult moments during his presidency on the Apple TV Plus show, The Oprah Conversation.
Do you think that if America could see the photos of not just Sandy Hook, but all of these school shootings and unnecessary violent shootings, would that make a difference in how Americans feel about gun violence?
I have to say, Oprah, it's gotten very polarized. I will say that was not only maybe the saddest day of my presidency, but when Congress failed to do anything in the aftermath of Sandy Hook was probably the angriest I ever was during my presidency. I was disgusted and appalled by the inaction.
The book is dedicated to his wife and 2 daughters, comes nearly 4 years since leaving the White House, and the 44th president isn't showing any signs of slowing down, from recently hitting the campaign trail
That's what I do.
For his vice president and longtime friend turned President-elect Joe Biden to sitting down with NBA All-Star LeBron James.
If everybody was heard, this country wouldn't be as divided as it seemed.
That was Janae Norman reporting. Again, Barack Obama's latest book, A Promised Land, will be released this Tuesday.
It's so hard because the energy of live music, you want them right there. Even when we play shows, I want you to be up as close as you can. But we just have to realize that for right now, we have to just change what we're doing.
COVID restrictions are impacting how musicians and artists like Indiana native Clayton Anderson perform and make a living. WRTV's Cornelius Hocker spoke to Anderson about the challenges he and so many other performers are facing and his plan to keep making music as the pandemic continues.
Back in March, when the pandemic changed everything, musicians across the country canceled concerts, but found other ways to connect with fans.
We streamed for, I think, like 8-9 weeks straight. And luckily, we were very blessed to have some very nice fans tune in and help get us through that time.
The live streams did well for Clayton Anderson and his bandmates. And then, once it looked like the spread of the virus was under control, they got the chance to do some outdoor shows.
If we were playing outside, we did really well. We had a lot of people show up, but everyone was spread out and they could have their space.
But as it gets colder and COVID-19 cases continue to rise, Clayton tells me they more than likely won't be performing indoors anytime soon, especially as major cities reinstate restrictions. Despite booking an indoor concert over the summer, Clayton isn't sure fans are ready for the crowds that come along with live music.
We struggled to sell 500 tickets back in the summer, and I thought we'd easily do that. So people are definitely still nervous and afraid to come inside. And I don't want to, I had the virus. It was not fun. I don't want anybody to get it. I don't want anyone to show up and risk themselves.
Clayton doesn't want to tell anyone how to live their lives, but if you like live music,
I think wearing a mask would be good. Just, be responsible, try to social distance yourself.
And he hopes fans across the country listen to guidance and advice from medical professionals so everyone can eventually get back to enjoying music together.
Yes, I ran away,
Working for you, Cornelius Hocker, WRTV.
Thanks, Cornelius. Well, we talked about the gusty winds that really took the focus today, but we also had a wet side to this weather system. Indianapolis picking up a little over a half-inch of rain, about a half-inch for you in the Lafayette area, and not overly impressive rainfall totals, but a nice little drink of water in what has been a fairly dry month here of November. There's the heart of the weather system, though. You can see all the rain moving into New York. We've got just a few showers across far northern portions of Indiana. That should stay out of the central Indiana area. In fact, we'll continue to clear out our skies as we enjoy that beautiful sunset right now from Greencastle. It's 46 degrees in downtown. You got 48 in Shelbyville and even 40 in the Kokomo area. And again, those winds, they're starting to come down, but we still have some isolated gusts, including Indianapolis, over 40 miles per hour. Tonight, we'll see those temperatures with the clear skies and that northwest flow to the wind, taking those numbers down into the upper 20s around Peru and Logansport, 30 degrees by tomorrow morning in Lafayette and 32 in Indianapolis. Planning out your Monday, sunshine back in the forecast, so it'll look nice out there as we get our temperature to 45 at noon, and we'll get back into the lower 50s for that afternoon high. A little breezy tomorrow, not nearly as gusty as what we had today, though. We'll have those southwest winds, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Gusts only around 20 miles per hour until we head into the evening hours. Then we could see those ramp up again, but only about 30 miles per hour here below advisory criteria, and then those will swing around out of the northwest as we go into Tuesday morning. So we've got a cold front that's going to come through the area. Not expecting any wet weather with this system, but it does bring a reinforcing shot of some cooler air. So by Tuesday, our high is only 46 degrees. We'll continue with some sunshine, a little bit of a northwest breeze, though, 10 to 15 miles per hour, going to add to the chill there. And as we go into Wednesday, another day with highs only in the 40s. And look at that morning low there by the middle of the week, 26 degrees. So a hard freeze expected to come here into central Indiana for the middle of the week. It's a quick shot of some cool air, though, as we look toward the forecast and those temperatures. By the end of the week, we're actually climbing pretty quickly here, back above average with highs that will get into the 60s. So it may not be record-setting this time around, but at least we do have some warmer days coming our way and something to look forward to. Let's put it all together now in that 7-day planning forecast. 53 with sunshine tomorrow, then the cool highs in the 40s Tuesday and Wednesday before we warm it up. And in fact, we've got a stretch of 60-degree warmth here Thursday through Sunday, and it looks like next weekend brings that next chance for some wet weather. Stay with us. We've got more news at 6 coming your way.
We are just over an hour away from an historic event. The SpaceX launch is set to happen at 7:27 Eastern Time tonight. The 4 astronauts on board will spend 6 months on the International Space Station. Gio Benitez has details.
The countdown has started. The 4 astronauts are on their way to the launch pad for tonight's historic SpaceX Dragon launch. All eyes, though, on the weather. Will rain, thick clouds, and lightning get in the way? The forecast is 50-50.
The concern for flying both the rocket and the Dragon capsule through any precipitation.
NASA concerned not just about the rocket lifting off, but also coming back down after releasing the astronauts into orbit.
We're going to reuse the first stage that we're flying on Crew 1. So it's important to recover that booster, and so we needed to get the drone ship in place.
28 hours later, once the astronauts are on the space station, NASA says they'll be conducting transformational research, especially when it comes to medical breakthroughs. And it's work these astronauts can't wait to get started. First-time flyer Victor Glover telling us it will be the trip of a lifetime.
I can't wait to go up above 100 kilometers and to live on the space station, and that fascination that I look forward to sharing with people, I have it as well. It burns bright.
And what about that spaceship's name, Resilience, a nod to what the world has gone through this year?
You know that year 2020 is a tough year for everyone, and we'd like to bring a positive image for the people who's watching our mission.
Gio Benitez, ABC News, Cape Canaveral, Florida.
Two new studies just might cast doubt on what you've heard about the benefits of fish oil. The studies say fish oil does not seem to prevent heart problems. The first study is the longest and largest trial of its kind. It shows omega-3 and vitamin D supplements don't help prevent atrial fibrillation. The second study finds omega-3 supplements don't reduce cardiovascular risk. The American Heart Association has suggested that fish oil supplements could slightly reduce the risk of dying after a heart attack or heart failure. Kyle.
Well, we've got a sunny and cool stretch coming our way here to start off the work and school week. Those highs only in the 40s Tuesday, Wednesday, but then things warm up. It's going to feel a little bit better here by the time we reach Thursday afternoon. We've got highs in the 60s. Looks like our next chance for rain going to hold off until we get into next weekend.
All right, Kyle, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 11 o'clock. Have a great night.